We're back for part 2 of character modeling our judge. In the first part, we modeled the body and ears. In this part, we're going to be creating this full character with clothing and color. With all that out the way, let's get started. Let's start where we left off. So tab into edit mode 3 or select the face select mode at the top and then select the front 4 faces. We're going to create the snout. So I to inset, numpad 3 to go in the side view, E, Y to extrude on the Y axis, S, 0Y to scale on the Y, and 0 is going to flatten it. And then we're going to add a subsurface modifier. Control R to add a loop cut in the middle, and then drag it back. That way it creates a sharper edge or a more defined nose. Then change to face select mode and select the front 4 faces. Kind of angle it, control numpad plus to select more faces. And then we're going to scale it out so that it's bigger. Shift A, mesh, UV sphere, and drag this up. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis. Scale it down and then slide it up into place. These are going to be the eyes. Go into your side view with numpad 3 and then move it on the y-axis. We're going to add a mirror modifier. Control A, all transforms so that it mirrors across. Then scale it on the x-axis. It won't let you do it unless you're in edit mode. That way you can do one at a time. So edit mode, scale on the x. Numpad 3 to go in the side view. We're going to scale it on the y to make it thinner. Turn on x-ray view so you can see better. And we want it like a oval shape. Come out of x-ray mode. And now you have eyes. So I went on and saved it. And then Shift A, mesh, and add a plane. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis and then move it up. We're creating the eyebrows. Scale it down and scale it on the x-axis and the z-axis. Go into the side view and slide it forward on the y. Numpad 1 back in the front view. Tab into edit mode and select the corner 2 vertices and scale it down. Then the middle vertices and move them up. We're going to add 2 loop cuts with Control R horizontally and then 2 loop cuts vertically. And then scale the entire thing down. You can select it all with A. Tab into object mode and make sure you have your eyebrow selected. Add a shrink wrap modifier. Wrap method change to project or project. Click -1 and then the target's going to be the body. Then add a solidify modifier and then adjust the thickness. You can go into numpad 3 side view to actually see how thick it's going to be. Then add a subsurface modifier to smooth it out. And then a mirror modifier. You're going to Control A, all transforms. And then slide your mirror modifier above the shrink wrap. And then adjust your thickness. Now go in and apply all of your modifiers. And it's always a good practice to save. You're going to select and hide your body and then turn on your duplicate and go into edit mode. Turn on your X-ray. Click the bottom vertex and mark it as the root. It's the one that's between the legs. Go into object mode, turn your X-ray off, and then create armature. Now you're going to go into edit mode, select the top bone, Control X, and that will delete it. Back into edit mode, you're going to click the little running man down to viewport display and turn on the names. Now you can see the names of the bones. Select the middle bones, go into select, invert, and now the arms and legs are selected. Right click, name, auto name left right, then right click again. You're going to symmetrize. So what the auto name did was it auto named the bones. On the left side it has an L, and then when you symmetrize it, it mirrors it across so that the bones on the right side are named with R. So tap into object mode and select the duplicate body and hide it. Now we're going to turn back on the regular body and then select the body and then the armature. So the armature should be like a yellowish orange color. Control P, set parent to with automatic weights. Now just select the armature, go into pose mode, select the bone for the head. You're just going to move it side to side and you'll see that it's not moving the ears or the eyes. And we don't like that. So tab back into object mode, select the ear, then the eyebrows, the eye, and then the armature last. Go back into pose mode, select the top bone or the head bone, then Control P, parent it to the bone. So now when you're in pose mode and you try to move the bone, it's going to move the head, the ears, and everything all together as one. Then save, go into object mode, H to hide the armature, select the ear, go into modifiers, and apply your mirror modifier. Select your eye and do the same thing. Select your body and apply the subsurface. Now go in the shading tab at the top, go into front view, click new, add, texture, image texture. Connect the color to the base color. And then in the description, there's a color palette. Go ahead and download that file. Once you have it downloaded, remember where you download it on your computer. You're going to go into open, find where you downloaded it and select it. Add, search, texture, coordinate. So we're going to add a texture coordinate and connect the UV to the vector on the color palette. Change linear to closest. Go into edit mode. Select all with A. UV project. OK. Back into object mode. Select the ears and then this drop down. You're going to add the material. And now it has the same material as the body. And do the same thing for the eyebrows and the eyes. Then on the left side here, you're going to grab and drag up so that we expand this panel. Click the drop down beside new and select color palette. Then select your editor type, change it to UV editor. Click and drag to select all objects. Go into edit mode, A to make sure that all vertices are selected. A on this side as well. S, 0. This will scale it down so that there's only one vert. And then G and move your mouse so you can move it to different colors. I'll put it in pink. And now if you go into object mode, you'll see that all objects are now pink or the entire character is pink. So now go into edit mode, click anywhere to deselect everything, turn on X-ray mode, and then click and drag across his midsection and down. We're creating the pants. So if you hold shift and drag all the way down so that you leave room for the shoes, and move around it to make sure that you have all vertices selected, you can G and drag to the brown. And now if you go into object mode, you'll see that now the pants are brown. So go back into edit mode, go to the top, select, invert, and now control drag so that you deselect the top half and just the bottom is selected. And then you're gonna G drag it to the black. And now the shoes are created. Go back into edit mode, click anywhere to deselect the shoes, and then you're gonna click and drag across so that you have just a little piece of the head. Control minus to deselect down. And we want to do it until we just have the top half of the robe. That's what we're creating now, is the judge's robe. In X-ray mode, you can kind of move around it so that you make sure you have no parts of the head selected. Once you know you don't have any parts of the head, you can click and drag in the chest area to select these vertices. And then a little bit further down, leaving some space between the robe and the pants. Come to the arms. Make sure you're holding shift as you select. That way you maintain your selection. Then shift D to duplicate. S to scale. P and then selection. And this created its own object. So go into object mode. Select the robe. Go into edit mode. A to select all vertices. G, drag it to the black. When you go back into object mode, you'll see that now the robe is all black. Shift H to hide everything but the robe. Go back into edit mode, vertex select. We're going to select everything on the left side in front view. Go into top view. And you're just making sure you have all the vertices on the left side selected. X, delete vertices. There's an extra one in the middle here, so I selected it and deleted it. And now add a mirror modifier. And this creates a symmetrical robe. In object mode, go ahead and select the mirror modifier and drag it above your armature. Then Control A, select all transforms. Go into edit mode, deselect everything by clicking anywhere. Go into top view. We're going to select these top vertices here. Hold shift while you select these to maintain your selection. Go into face select mode. And we're just holding shift and selecting these faces here. Hold shift alt and select to select all the faces in that loop. And then we're going to continue to just hold shift and select these faces inside. X and delete faces. Shift alt select to select this row here. And then shift click to select these faces. X and delete faces. And now we have a nice collar for the robe. Go into front view, turn on vert select, and you're going to click and drag to select the middle vertices. Turn on clipping in the mirror modifier. Then I normally do GX on the x-axis to kind of move it forward and back so that it snaps to the middle. Then go into object mode and apply your mirror modifier. Alt H to unhide everything. And it looks like it unhid everything. So we're clicking on the duplicate, H to hide it, click the armature, hide it, And then select the ear, the body, the eyebrows, the eyes, and the judge's robe. Shift H to isolate those objects. Select the robe and go into edit mode. A to select it all. Then in edit mode, go to mesh, cleanup, merge by distance. And this gets rid of duplicate vertices. Click anywhere to deselect. And then on the outside, you're going to click and drag to select the bottom two edges. G, Z to bring it down on the Z axis. We're going to bring it down towards about the knees. Then Control R to create loop cuts and just increase it. Bring up your side panel. You can drag it out so you can see better. Go to Smooth, A to select it all. You're going to click this ball and drag it. And depending on the direction, it'll smooth it out so that they're more equal spacing. Now go into Scope mode, back into your layout, and then change to the Elastic Deform brush. F to increase the size, and then click X, then bring it down and then up. We're just kind of expanding the shape, stretching it. The X is mirroring it across, so you don't have to do it on both sides. It's doing it at the same time. And I'm just going around the robe and adjusting it. You can go into the side view and do the same thing. You're just shaping the robe so that it looks more natural and it has a little shape to them. And then making sure you expand it so that you can't see the body underneath. And then the sleeves look a bit wonky, so I'm gonna click and drag those in and just adjust the shape so that it's around the wrist. Go into top view and then drag and expand, kind of stretch it out in that view as well. This whole process is just personal preference on how you like the robe to look. Go into shading, and this will show you what it looks like in black or with your colors on it. Go into object mode and just kind of move it around. You see that you can see the pants. So you want to come back into scope mode and drag it out and just kind of move around it to make sure that there's no body peeking out through the robe. Now go into object mode. Save. Select the eyes. Go into edit mode. And we're going to select these inside circles. Click X so that it mirrors it across. Select this side as well. Control plus, and then G, drag it to the black. Select invert, Control plus, and then G, drag it to the white. Tab or click into object mode. Select the eyebrows, go into edit mode, A, G, and drag it to the black. Back into object mode. Select the body, go into edit mode. At the top, go layout, preferences, type loop, and then turn on loop tools. You can X out of your preferences, drag your subsurface to the top, go into object mode and apply it. Now tab into edit mode and select the front faces here and then here. Then click drop down for loop tools, circle drop down, declick radius, click circle, then adjust your angle. And I settled at 1.2. E to extrude on the Y axis to bring it in. Tab into object mode. Right click, shade smooth. Go into shading. Click the eyebrows, right click, shade smooth. Click the eyes, right click, shade smooth, and then save. And that's it for this tutorial. We've created our judge character with clothes. In the next part, we'll be creating our wolf. And if you've enjoyed, please like, comment if you need help, and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.